found a tube, and the minute I opened it, the smell transported me through time.
This one's wife. Another lie exposed. Hello, I'm H.G. Tudor. This one's wife has ostracized many individuals. Her in-laws, former friends, former colleagues, and also members of her own family, most notably her father, Thomas Markle Sr., who she is disengaged from because he serves no further purpose to her and is viewed as an unhelpful threat to her need for control, and similarly in relation to her half-siblings, Samantha and Thomas Markle Jr. Samantha Markle has proven to be something of a thorn in the side of this one's wife, repeatedly criticising her, but also bringing legal action against her. And you will recall that this one's wife essentially smeared her half-sister by claiming that she grew up as an only child. This was done in order to assert control indirectly over both her half-brother and half-sister, to say, we didn't grow up together. Now, whilst there is a significant age difference between the two, the picture that has been painted by this one's wife is that she had nothing to do with them at all, and that she was an only child. It may well be the case that the way that her father treated her, putting her on a pedestal and contributing to the development of her narcissism, may well have caused her to believe that she was an only child. But she knows that's not the case, but her narcissism revises history to cause her to say this. And as a consequence of further activity by Samantha Markle, another lie of this one's wife has been exposed in relation to her maintaining that she had nothing really to do with her half-sister growing up. As reported by Patrick Hill in the Mirror, the Duchess of Sussex is set to face a new court hearing as her half-sister tries again to sue her for defamation. As I have explained elsewhere, narcissists regularly become embroiled in litigation, sometimes because they are able to throw their weight around through financial firepower and use litigation to assert control over people by suing them, and it's a consequence of the fact that the narcissist behaves in a way where they demonstrate a sense of entitlement, they don't follow the rules, they renege on contracts, etc., meaning that they find themselves a defendant to actions. And here, it would appear that this one's wife finds herself as a defendant again as a consequence of the allegation that she has defamed her sister. This one's wife's lawyers have been ordered to appear in person at the United States Courthouse in Jacksonville, Florida on September the 9th to argue against Samantha's case, which is an appeal after her original case was dismissed. The case could prove an unwelcome distraction for this one's wife, who is trying to build a lifestyle brand and podcast success. A legal document has been sent to both this one's wife and Samantha's lawyers by a clerk at the US Court of Appeals for the 11th Circuit. The document says, the court has determined that the cases listed on the attached calendar are to be orally argued. Counsel for each party must present oral argument unless excused by the court for good cause shown. The document adds that both sides will be given 15 minutes each to present their argument to the presiding judge, who has not yet been named. Samantha, 60, originally launched a defamation case against this one's wife nearly 4 years ago, claiming her reputation had been damaged by her sibling in her and Harry's tell-all interview with Oprah in 2021. She challenged this one's wife's claims that she grew up as an only child and didn't have much of a relationship with her, alleging it hurt the sales of her book, The Diary of Princess Push's Sister Part 1. Samantha also claimed she was forced to move residences, retract from public outings, and faced realistic death threats as a result of the royals' Netflix documentary, according to a previous court filing. And she accused this one's wife of discrediting her by suggesting she did not know her growing up, alleging it hurt her personal and professional reputation and caused her to face relentless torment online. The $75,000 claim was rejected by a judge who ruled that public statements by this one's wife were substantially true. But Samantha launched an appeal in April last year, claiming the judge failed to take into account implied defamation created by omitted facts. Thus, she won't go away. And whatever you might think of Samantha Markle and her motivations, the fact is she remains a thorn in the side of this one's wife by threatening her need for control, by seeking to continue with her lawsuit, which is looking to expose the lie, which is, I was an only child. I didn't grow up with my sister. This one's wife told that lie because it suited her to smear her sister in order to assert control over her indirectly. Her narcissism revises history and tells her, you didn't grow up with her. You were, in fact, an only child. And like so many other lies that have come from the mouth of this one's wife, she issues that in a public setting. Whether it will meet the criteria for defamation remains to be seen. But the fact is, already, this lie about being an only child has been exposed because of what Samantha Markle has explained with regard to their relationship, and also the photographs that she has shared, including the one that you can see in the thumbnail. Here you can quite clearly see Samantha Markle and this one's wife together. Well, okay, it's only one photograph, but it does show that they were together, and it's an intimate photograph. They're leaning in together, which suggests they're not stood as strangers, but rather that they did know one another. This picture and others like it, along with the testimony of Samantha Markle, exposes the lie that this one's wife has perpetuated, that she grew up as an only child. Lies fall easily from the mouth of this one's wife because to her they are her truth. Seen through the distortion field of her narcissism, when she says something, at that point in time she believes it to be true because her narcissism tells her that it is. Thus, in order to indirectly assert control over her sister, in essence to smear her and suggest that there was no relationship, her narcissism in effect instructed her to say, I grew up as an only child, I didn't have a relationship with Samantha. As is invariably the case with the narcissist, give them enough rope and they'll hang themselves, the narcissist gets caught out because other evidence comes forward to demonstrate the untruth of what the narcissist has stated. Of course, many people aren't interested in the back and forth between two individuals. But when it comes to somebody on an international scale, such as this one's wife, who claims that she was an only child and didn't have a relationship with her half-sister, and because that half-sister takes umbrage at such a suggestion and thus launches a lawsuit, this gains added prominence and continues to be a problem for this one's wife. But it's clear that it is a fabrication on her part, a fabrication that has been generated by her narcissism once again to pursue the prime aims. A fallacy that is blown away from earlier photographs, testimony from Samantha Markle, but simply look at the photograph in the thumbnail, and that tells you all you need to know. Once again, another lie from this one's wife has been exposed. I'm H.G. Tudor. Thank you for listening.